Okay. My question was about this ignorance. You said people don't want to be ignorant, but at the same time, in Western world, they say ignorance is a bliss, right?
Correct.
So, when like if you don't know something about you, sometimes it's better not to know than to know.
Correct. So that's a popular observation. Ignorance is bliss. So yeah. So, but ignorance is not bliss also.
I know.
Where when I have cancer in my body, it's better I know it sooner. I can't say ignorance is bliss and keep on ignoring it. And one day the doctor says, "What happened? You didn't have any symptoms. Why didn't you come visit me last year?" So their ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is not bliss at all. So ignorance is bliss when they say it is a general statement which can't be taken too seriously. We need to be able to handle facts and reality. That is what a mature person is. A mature person is unafraid of handling the reality.
Yeah, so that is the maturity, because if you tell someone that you have a cancer, maybe he will die sooner worrying about it.
Yeah.
And not knowing it. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. So the point here is not knowing something keeps me happy. Yeah, okay, that person can't handle the fact that he or she has this terminal disorder. Okay, that is fine. So there the doctor can choose, not choose, etc. But it's the good doctors will tell, hey, you have this disorder, and you have to take care of yourself. Only then the patient will be empowered to do whatever. So family members must empower each other and talk about reality, talk about these facts about life. And then when we do that, this ignorance is bliss actually doesn't, we don't buy into that statement because we don't want to be ignorant. So sometimes we will say, okay, I don't want to know all that. You deal with it yourself. Means we are saying, okay, that's a problem between you both. You sort it out. Okay, you sort it out. I don't need to be involved in all that. That is what we mean. We don't mean ignorance in that way. So ignorance can be very dangerous. We can't go away with the statement ignorance is bliss. And so that is you tell the CEO ignorance is bliss. The CEO gets up at 3 in the morning and looking up all the stocks and all the news all over the world and what is happening everywhere. What ignorance is bliss? You ask him to give a lecture on ignorance is bliss, we will see. So these people who talk about ignorance is bliss, they really do not want to be ignorant, I tell you.
No, in certain circumstances. That's what I meant.
So yeah. So you gave the example of this patient who cannot handle a fact. Okay, correct. That's a good example. I agree with that. And yeah, sometimes doctors can use that. They will interpret it and say, okay, he cannot handle it. We will find a different way. We will say it later. And slowly the fact will come to him. At that point, we can reveal. Correct? That also we have done. We've seen doctors do that, patients do that. And after a while, you tell the person, hey, your heart is weak at this rate, you can't live for too long. Whatever. You don't say the statement literally, but finally the person understands the heart is weak or whatever. So the person comes to know. And once the knowledge is there, then after that, actually the treatment and taking care becomes better. Because there is no denial. We say you're in denial and all that we say, right? So denial need not be there. Denial is not good. Okay, we'll stop that discussion now. Yeah, go ahead and Ashutosh. Unmute yourself.
So my question was around when you mention Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna. So fundamentally, Vedanta is supposed to be Advait, right? And as soon as you mention Lord Shiva or Lord Krishna, then aren't you introducing duality in our discussions? Because they are God, we are again humans or mortals. So how do we reconcile that with Vedanta?
Correct. Good question. Good question. So, Dvaitati bhayam bhavati. So, Shastram says, fear. Why is fear there? So, fear is there because I'm afraid of my life. I see a snake, I'm afraid. I see a cockroach, I'm afraid. And fear happens in my daily life. So many things causes fear. But Shastram says a very interesting statement. Dvaitati bhayam bhavati. Because you see two things, there is fear. Look at the statement. I see another, therefore there is fear. For me to have fear, all I need is something else opposed to me. Small or big is irrelevant. As long as I see Dvaita, there is fear. Because now I am different from the other person. I have to protect myself from the other. I am victimized by the other. I am not like the other. There are 1,000 things we can say why the Dvaita causes fear. Okay. So yeah, you're right. When I say Ishvara, Ishvara is not me. So yeah, Dvaita means an Ishvara, a God, a Krishna that is other than me is Dvaita, no doubt. And fortunately, the scripture says that Krishna is a benevolent guy. He can only do good to you if you worship him. So that gives me some solace, that gives me some relief, and I can continue to be prayerful, and I can be a devotee, and Krishna is my God. This is okay. So Dvaita is there in that also. That you have already observed. So Advaita Vedanta says the Atma of Krishna and the Atma of you is also identical. And that identity is to be recognized. Like the two waves in the ocean, both of them are water. They have to see it. And so I will go ahead and mute yourself, Ashutosh. There is some feedback.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so that screeching noise is coming. So yeah, so that duality is there, and when I see the identity of Ishvara, the Satyam of Ishvara and the Satyam of myself is the same. That brings us to Advaita Vedanta. Yes. So duality is there when, until I see non-duality, duality will be there. Okay. And can we respect it? Can we respect it? We need to respect that. We are not going to deny duality. The duality will be there until I see non-duality. How? The snake will be there until what? You can unmute yourself and answer the question.
Until the rope is seen.
Until the rope is seen. After the rope is seen, can you see snake?
No.
Now I'll tell you, okay, now you know it's a rope. I say, no, okay, now go ahead and see a snake. Can you see a snake, Ashutosh? You cannot see a snake when you see the rope. But until you see the rope, I will see a snake. Correct? Yeah, Haim, go ahead.
No. But what if you forget after seeing the snake? So if your memory goes away, then what happens?
So ask the question differently. After memory of what?
So I have again objectified that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to grasp that object again when I'm trying to go back to that memory, right?
Yeah. So your question is, once I see a snake,
Hmm.
Or what is the question? When I see a rope or when I see a snake? I'm not clear.
No, I have seen a snake, but now I realize that it's a rope. Now somehow I forget that it is a rope, or that it fades away, that realization fades away. Then what happens?
Good question. No, very good question. So the memory aspect comes. So I can forget that it's a rope and I make the same mistake again.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Same mistake happens again. So yeah, in this example, it is possible. It's very much possible. I can see the snake again after some time and make a mistake because the lighting is bad and can very well happen. Very well happen. Or if not on this rope, some other rope. All these things can happen. But Atma Vidya is such that when Atma Vidya happens, memory doesn't play a role. Okay? Memory has no role to play. That is the nature of Atma Vidya. So in other subjects, memory has a role to play. So I can forget. I forgot a lot of things I studied in high school. Correct? Zoology. I used to love zoology and I did so many charts and so many things I did. I made presentations. Now I can't recall much of that. So yeah, memory plays a role and I have forgotten a lot of things. But in this case, that memory doesn't have a role to play. So we will say important topic. It's a big topic also, but good question. So forgetting that fact about myself is not possible. Like you don't forget that you never, do you ever get fooled any day that the sun is revolving around the earth?
No, but if I lose my memory, I might.
Good. If you lose your memory, you might. Good observation. And so questions about what if somebody is a jnani, atma jnani, and the person gets into coma, then what happens? Yeah, coma, what happens? And the person comes out of coma. There is really, we don't say there is a chance that this knowledge can be lost because it is so big. I am limited versus I am the whole. This I am the whole. Everything in this world is me. Okay, this fact is not ordinary fact. This is not like saying, even the example of the sun and earth we give often. That's also a very limited example. We do invoke it once in a while, but it's a limited example, small example. But when we say I am the whole and Jiveshwar Aikyam, when we say, then they talk about akhandakara vritti, etc. And so there's a different kind of vritti that happens, which doesn't rely on memory to stay. Okay, good question though. Yeah. Okay, so if there are no other questions, we'll pause with that.